walking, take a step, raise the knee, the others will be running, trying to touch the hand in front. Doggy. Jog with your heel, try to touch your bum. Take your breath. Down. Doggy. All the way. Focus. All the way. All the way. Drop back. And walk back. Look behind your shoulder. And drop away in the same direction. Walking. You're going to look on the floor with your hands. You're going to crawl a bit. So if you cannot crawl, let's say you can just keep walking. Try to, if you can find the weight on the hands, the weight on the feet. And again, relax. Try to put some strength in the fingers as well. Don't let the wrist and the palm take everything. Push off the fingertips. Almost there. And stand walking. And come right, shake your hand if you need. Finish with your breath. Okay, let's do another animal. This time we're going to walk again, but try to keep your legs straight. So your bum is pushed high, and then some walk. It's like this down here. So this is more of a shoulder exercise, right? One more. There we go. Find the cracks, we're working more on the back here. When you find the ground, I'm going to walk with my hips up. The higher up the more you fall. Again, on my little bands here, more comfortable. Again, put pressure on the fingertips as well, yeah? To protect your wrist.
Back.
Walking all the way. Careful with your neighbor. Good. Fist is going to all right, and stand. That's it. Everyone's warm. Okay, take a sip of water as you keep moving.
throw out the mic because it's not working. Yeah.
Okay. And then, just come around. Okay. So, defense against weapon. There's a lot of different weapons. You could spend many hours looking at how to defend against them. I have a feeling that the kind of wooden stick here is what you might face the most likely. Like somebody grabs a broom, somebody grabs a pipe, somebody grabs a baseball bat, and then you have this kind of weapon here facing you. It's blunt, meaning that it has no sharp edge, so you don't have a risk to be cut. Oh wait, nobody's gonna get cut today. Yeah. It can poke, yeah? It can pierce. Good that you bring these responses back in to find your walking stance again. Yeah? Like this. Forward. Forward. Backward. And as you can see, I'm staying grounded. I'm not letting myself go up and down anymore. I'm staying right there. And up. Change stance. Just try to feel for the left foot forward. Yeah, again, jumping off the back leg, forward. My hips are right there, I'm keeping them right there. Yeah. And then back. So on the front, pushing the body behind, dragging the feet back. Yeah. Okay? So, what we'll be doing with this defense here is going back, of course. Yes, so I encourage you to grab a nail here, a stick, and find the pattern But I don't have a stick. You can share the stick. And what about we have a line all along? We have a line of paper. Maybe the one that don't have the stick, stay on this side. Pick up the stick. You stay on that side and you face each other. Find a partner. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, do we need to go in there? 1, 2, 3. So we need to be closer, especially the attacker. So we have an attacker and we have the defender. So the attacker comes in, and he wants to be in range. Being in range means that the weapon can actually touch. So the range for you is somewhere here. Let's say we're aiming at a bit of a curveball strike here from the side, right there. Yeah? And this guy, we go slow. I want you to give your partner time to shuffle back, to jump behind. Right. Okay. And then you come back. It's good if you come back with your shuffle forward again. Yeah? And then that strike comes again. Good. It's good if you find your ground as you shuffle back, without hitting. Okay? Keep trying it. And if you see your partner comfortable with the speed, go a little bit faster with that stick. So we're creating distance. I think as I face and don't anticipate too much. I don't want you to jump before the attack comes. Yeah. Very far away from it. You don't even want to jump in the ditch. Okay. How about the one defending? Change your stand. And how about the one attacking? Attack with your left now, but attack with your hand. Changing stand. Changing stand. Top over the feet. You get when you hold and strike the other side. Just have a thing. Go across. Yeah. You change now. Swap who is holding the stick. Who's defending? But stay where you are. Don't anticipate.
Ready? Go.
Bark is fine, exactly.
Yeah, all right, so understood? So whenever you practice the forms and you practice the shuffling, you know now that, I can apply this to the attacking. All right. Moving at that, you created space, great, but nothing really happened, right? Just protected yourself. The person is still wanting to come. I saw some people going again, right? There is still like this assault coming to you. You cannot just like keep going back. Then you're gonna meet the wall, you're gonna meet something, you're gonna fall, you don't want that. So, if I have remember that I said that you can grab it. But, how would you feel for grabbing this? Not good, huh? Painful. You know, first of all, that the most amount of damage is at the end of the cane. Okay? So the further down you grab it, the less you can get hit, yeah? But the fingers, like, we think that somebody might attack our body, but if you have the hands in front like you would really want to make space, then if you do like this for me, I would actually potentially just go and attack the fingers here. If I was an experienced fighter, but now let's say we don't face somebody that's experienced, just wants to go in. So what I would like you guys to do now is to use the gap. Yeah? When somebody swings, there's actually a gap at the very beginning, before they swing. If they're inexperienced, they will make big, wide movements. Yeah? And we'll kind of bring the weapon back. That's a moment for you to go here. But the second movement that I want to actually work on right now is after the swing. Yeah, the stick now is down, and I'm giving a kind of an opportunity for you to come in. So what I would like you to do, can I have some of this in mind? Yeah. So she's in range. She can find me. So you're gonna go. I want you to go through. And I would like you guys to then find that jumping back in. Yeah? Two important things. One hand is going for that hand. Yeah? The other hand, there's actually a lot of things we can do with this. Right? We can just push. I think the other weeks you probably saw already this kind of like China kind of moves here, blocks. Yeah. But for now, let's not go too much into this unless you're more experienced and you want to try to find different combinations. Let's say use 3 there. But for us, like normal people, we're going back. She's going, I'm going back. Whoa. And then I need to find this gap here. I need to find a way to step in. If you need to make a step, it's okay. The longer the stick, the more I have to jump in. One hand going in, the other hand. Face always good, yeah, nose, going down to the side. Again. Here's the gap, yeah? She loaded her next attack, and I haven't given her time to go in, and I jump right in. Yeah? For now, just try to make contact with the hand, and let's say the shoulder, that can be the head instead. Yeah? And on both sides. Don't have such a long. Okay, for now, it makes it a bit easier. Know that also I can jump different places. If she comes from the top here, just stepping aside is also another way. For now, it's straight back, straight forward, just finding, there, it's my gap. Yeah. And I'm going to give some of my body here, some of my pressure. I don't want to be too loose because then maybe she will kind of find the hand. Smack in the face. Or in the ribs there. Yeah? You try this. Jumping back, jumping forward. It takes a bit of springiness. You need to be a bit ready, like this is really a tiger kind of move there. You're going back and then you're going riding more for the control. Yeah? We care about the person, not the stick so much. The stick is out of the way, so what's left? The person. I'm going to do something like this. Okay? You try? Well, now just touch. 1, 2, 1, 2. It's coming from the top, down, and boom, here's your chance to step it. Try this, go. Very good. How about change partner? Go.
You go here, and then here.
So, have a go. Big swing, going through, shuffling back, and then shuffling riding when the swing back. Okay? One, riding.
It's more of this.
Continue on that. Don't just stay there. Find a technique, maybe even take the stick off of the Wow. You want to resist that?
It just surprised me. Okay.
If you need an extra step to find the body, then it's fine.
Yeah, so don't jump. That was a good one. Yeah. Yeah, because it's like,
Striking. What? Yeah. Yeah. You were already
Yes, this will not
Ideally, we shuffle instead of just kind of like walking back and forth. Okay, change the one holding the stick. Attacker, defender. Stop.
Wait, no, I just check out the distance and look with you. Okay. Just because I don't know. Okay?
Because not using the hands a bit coming. Mistake. Backing quick.
Okay, so sorry.
Shuffle it. With that hand.
There's so many things going on. It's like nothing is really efficient, but
I'm testing.
it was your hand. I was like, yeah, nice massage in the center. Everything's just right. Let's try this side. And I could go in the back. You know, it's like flowing more. And at the same time, I can really block it.
Try not to drag your back leg too much, like leaning it behind as you go forward there. But also bring it in, right? Or as you go back, I'm not leaning that leg to drag the front, it's coming in my back. So I can be stable. Yeah?
I couldn't do what I wanted.
Okay. Very good. Relax. Change partner. So we can have one line going down, the other one staying. So let's say you guys step up on side. You go left, you guys stay, and the one at the back going right. Other partner. So, you might have noticed that there is a gap right in the DT. The person in experience, you're going to go and want to swing really wide and back. And that moment at the very beginning is also a chance for you to do it again without having to go back and forth. I stop that movement really early. Usually the earlier I stop it, the better. So I'd like you to try again this time and give your partner, just for the exercise, some loading to your strike. So you remain to here, boom. Okay, load, boom. One hand on the weapon, on the hand, one hand going. me, I can find my way back here. Okay? So it has to be, you need to be kind of switched on and be really quick at, oh, she's coming for me. I'm going back. It's the same for a kick. If you catch a kick loading early, you can neutralize it by just going in. But you need a bit of bravery, you need to kind of want to stop whatever is happening, you need to go right there. So as I go actually, I'm also going a bit with my hands in front, right? I don't want to just go without my guard. Somehow she can find me back there. So one hand in front there, connecting with that attack there. Boom. Easy?
What if the person holds the staff like here, so you can't put your hand on their hand? So you just grab.
So yeah, she's loading. It doesn't really matter so much. I'm going for the hand, and this is not long enough to reach me. Especially, so whenever you block something, when you do something, you're gonna mean it, right? I'm not gonna be half-ass here, and she can push me and kind of drive in there. I'm gonna hold myself right there, yeah, and boom, and very quick. Even as the palm goes, you can get a hold of that hand. Boom. You know, we're doing traditional kung fu here, and you go for what works. You don't care about who's somebody's attacking you. You are in danger. The nose, the eye, the groin. I want you to go for this directly. Yeah, as a partner, I'm not actually doing it, but get the reflexes to want that to happen. Yeah? It will be very efficient. Okay, so in front of each other, I'm going one, and she's like right there, jumping onto my arm there, onto my face to stop me. Yeah? Try.
The position of the feet is
For you, attacking? Just have the right So start from the normal in the front to loading, and that's when the counter happens. You know that strike is going in. Oh, right there. Yeah. Bang.
I don't feel anything. Oh, sorry. You can actually change hands. That's password. It was really low.
No, that's not a good thing. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't be shy to go right.
Oh, no.
There is something that you want, yeah, but
Easy I'm the one driving it.
Right.
I don't want to find the stick. This is a position of the car. You can actually do this, right? You go to Okay, change who is holding the stick. Change the attacker. Don't make it too easy. When you realize this. We have changed who is holding the weapon, yeah?
Okay.
Don't interfere with the attacker. In the front, on 5 people. And you have to there, if it's there, you have to and then what's the other hand? What's the other hand? this side we can. All right. Okay, everybody. That was nice. Relax. Start your partner. And then come around. So we'll be exploring this different ways to grow. There's a principle that we really try to put emphasis on. It works for anything, weapons, no weapons. When something comes straight to you, you want to block it from the side. When it comes from the side, you want to go straight against it. So what we did now is you going straight at it to stop it, but defending against a side attack. Something coming from the side, swinging, you stop it before it opens. So what we can look at next week here is to deflect a little bit the straight attacks here. So you can also consider this as a bit of a straight attack, which will come from the side, block it. As a straight attack, come from the side to block it. Yeah, we can play a bit more with this. Is there any questions?
Give realistic training.
Sorry?
Give realistic training.
Yeah. When we talk about self-defense, it takes a really long time to get these reflexes in your body. You don't expect that you're going to get it very quick, and it's just repetition and practice that really help you out, like building reflexes in your body. And this is going in before the person strikes you. We also have an impact of like a surprise. Whoa, wait a second. So I'm supposed to be the attacker. And this guy is just jumping on me and I'm blinded and I'm on the ground and what's going on there. Yes, so surprise element is really, really important in self-defense. And this side for straight for side is because we don't want to have force against force. So, for example, if I have a Marion here and you try to block me with your block with the stopper, this is a force against force. Yeah? She's blocking my attack in the same direction that I'm throwing it. So what's going to happen? Either my stick breaks because she's stronger, or her arm breaks. You know, there's always this like strength to strength battle, and the harder, stronger wins. Yeah? Instead of doing that, we're going around. Yeah? There's no this like strength relationship anymore. She's taking my strength away from me. Yeah? Doing the side of the strength attack. Yeah? If you're really strong and you have a really good conditioning, then try it out. You don't care about sticks. But maybe it's a matter of the type they took and that's like so yeah, you don't really want to go and face that. Even like just kind of like holding a hand when the stick is coming down.
No.
This will also help to run fingers there. So you don't want to go in that trajectory. You want to find the sides, or you want to stop it before it starts. Yeah, good principle. All right, let's go for tea. If there are any more questions? Yeah. Thanks, guys. You can stand there and give a bow here.
Ya, pero mañana sí te vemos.
let you go, but I will. What's that?
Get your feet a sunburn. Suntan.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'll see him, but if I do, I don't know Tom, and I have to teach. So. Hello. How are you? I'm good. You? Kyle Budasan.
It doesn't come by itself.
Yeah, pleasure. I don't believe I've
Nope.
met either one of you as well.
No, I'm Susanna.
Susanna?
Mandy.
Mandy. Okay, nice to meet you. Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, well, the tea's not ready. So we ended class a little early.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have kept going.
Yeah.
You could you didn't know, but you could have gone a little later.
Huh?
The tea wasn't ready.
We just finished the argument practice there, so.
Okay.
It's the first day.
It's the first day, and Sunday is actually arguably the most packed day because it's the first day, but then you're getting this introduction to all, basically the 5 primary routines, where you're getting some Qian, you're getting Qigong in the morning, Xuan Yang, you're doing some vein tendon at lunch, as well as some Qian, which is the basic freehand, and then we're going to do weapons right now, and then throw in there some other defensive techniques. You know, so there's a lot of information that comes. You will be tested by the end of the day, so you better remember everything. Obviously, that's a joke, right? Right? Well, we'll see. Yeah, for the most parts, right? For those of you who are very ambitious, you will actually get an opportunity to test on some of it at the end of the month. Right? You can do a grading. The first grading is some Qian, and then you do some grading moves along with that for the next grading. So you actually can be graded, right? But this would be in like 4 weeks, so you got some time.
Good. It's not today.
It's not today. Not today, right? With that being said, don't hesitate to ask the instructors if you have a question about something. If something didn't quite sink in, even if you're thinking in your head, oh, this is probably a silly question, I don't know if anyone's going to, just ask it, it's okay. Right? Especially in the beginning. We expect you to know nothing, so please ask. You know, especially since we're all talking in different languages with different accents, and this sort of thing, you know, so it's ask away. Don't be shy, don't hesitate. With that in mind, does anyone have any questions? While we wait for the tea.
What's the meaning of your tattoos?
It's Kung Fu related.
I guess it's comforted. That's my subject.
I mean, I think there's much better questions out there.
Of course not.
No, it's not that personal, but I'll talk a little bit about this one and this because they're Sakyants. So they're really specific to Thailand, or at least this area.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And this was done down in Chiang Mai, but typically the Sakyants are done in Khmer, which is a Sanskrit language, right? And it's old. This used to be Khmer land. And you can go to, typically you'd go to a monk. If you're a female, you have to go to an Arjun. There's someone who used to be a monk, but now they can touch women, right? Because the monks aren't allowed to touch females at all. And typically the women aren't allowed to go into the temples for the tattooing, but typically you go to an Arjun. Do you have a question?
Yeah, because you just mentioned that during the ceremony with the monks, when they gave us these bracelets, they literally touched us. So were that fake monks?
No, they weren't fake monks, but they're not really touching you much. They're just putting the string around you, and oftentimes when they put the string around you, they won't touch you.
Yeah, they don't touch you, yeah.
They put the string around and they tie it,
Yeah.
and there's very little touching.
Okay, so
Where
it's
here,
like that.
they're gonna touch your flesh and they're gonna hit your flesh. So I mean, it's Thailand. The rules are always a little loose. Here, Buddhism isn't like so hardcore, but typically, yeah, the monks don't touch women, and so they won't do the tattoos on women, typically. Right, and so it's like a kind of a spell or a blessing that's very unique to Thailand, and they do it with a bamboo. Long bamboo, and they can
You're
tap
strong
on it.
enough.
Yeah. And all my sakyans are pretty much revolving around enlightenment.
Enlightenment.
Yeah, so I have 5 of them on each limb. One on my calf, one on my thigh, one on my back, one here, one here. Yeah, this is one of the
Yeah, I can
basic
help you
ones.
from this-
How to. I'm sure butchering the pronunciation, but it's 5 lines, and then with the crescent represents enlightenment. So it's the 5 lines of protection. This is the deer-headed or deer-faced hermit, who I believe is associated with bringing the Sakyat tattoos, kind of like the monk behind it. And so this is about protection of the mind and perseverance on the path of enlightenment. Yeah. So they all have these meanings, so it's a little bit more than just body art, right? It takes on this other, there's a spell, there's an intention, there's certain rules behind it. There's 5 precepts that you generally don't want to do because it kind of cancels the spell, this sort of thing. Yeah.
Are they connected with each other, the tattoos? I mean, like in meaning.
Well, I mean, they're all Sakyant and they're all revolving around the same kind of goal, but are they like, oh, you get this one and then you get that one? No, not like that. The book of the tattoos it's quite big. You can look it up online. I personally went to Sakyant Chiang Mai. A lot of people go there. There isn't really one up in Pai. There's some tattooists who will do it. You know, at your own risk. How's the tea? Is it still just...
It's just burning.
It's burning your fingertips hot, so this is part of the training. Conditioning your fingertips. No, maybe we let it cool for a minute. I'm not sure.
I have a question about.
Yeah, it's 36.
Because you said someone said that the monks come here sometimes and chant. So, is it possible to like chant with them, or do we even sit there?
It's usually about special events.
Okay.
So it's just a couple times a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's not going to be like, oh, it's Tuesday, the monks are coming. Let's all pile into the Buddha house, you know, although that would be cool. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, it's like they usually come on New Year, but this year they came on the 20th, which was Master Ian's daughter's birthday, so January 20th. So they were just here, which is why you see...
They took it off now.
Oh, they take
took
it
them
off?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which is weird. They're not
Yeah,
supposed to do that.
Yeah, because we kept them the other day
Yeah.
for like the year.
Of time, I don't know.
No, usually the last one stayed for the whole year.
Yeah.
So they'll see these strings. It's really weird that they took them down. I'm not sure why they did that. Usually they tie these strings to all the buildings, and then they'll come and perform the ritual, their ceremony in the kitchen, and then all the strings come to that point, and then you'll notice a lot of, exactly what Marion was talking about, a lot of people have these white strings, so then
It's not white anymore.
yeah, dirty. But they tie these strings around, and then you have that energy of the place as well, and the energy of the ceremony. I don't know if we'll be doing anything in the month. Sometimes we'll go over to, there's a temple that's just right down the road here. Sometimes we'll go over there for special events. But we just kind of had some of the bigger holidays in Thailand. So Loi Krathong is in November. They're pretty much all the holidays are associated around the full moon. So Loy Krathong just happened in November, which is a big one. And then we just had New Year's, and Chinese New Year's was just Wednesday. So
How about Buddha Day? 12.
of May,
Oh,
I don't think that's
No,
practiced
for
here.
there is another one.
Pretty much all the
Do
we have
Buddhist
enough tea?
holidays
Oh,
in
yeah.
Thailand are directly associated with the full moon.
Let's do people.
Is it going to be the full moon? The 12th? Yeah, yeah.
I know this is my day.
Then the monks probably won't come, but there will be some things going on in town, some celebrations going around. The bars might be closed. They
Yeah.
might not sell alcohol. Some of the holidays they don't, so just be mindful of that. Feel free to come grab some tea. It is kind of hot.
Yeah.
You may want to point water in it.
If you do want to chant with monks, it's possible, just not here. But you find some meditation centers along the way. There's one between here and Chiang Mai. There's one between here and Mae Hong Son. There's scattered around, but basically you can go there for minimum 2-3 days, I think, and then up to a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and you live with the monks, you sing with the monks, you meditate with the monks, and you have the really experience of that Buddhist culture. Yeah. There's one about 2 hours, an hour and a half towards Mae Hong Son. I really like that place. Really
Yeah.
set up, and you get to chant because you need the book, right? You need the words, and if you don't have that, then impossible to. Even if you have that, it's super hard to follow them. Just, yeah.
What is that place called?
Wat Patam? What is the temple? What's the temple? I'm not sure. It's, Tam Mua. Wat Patam Mua. The temple in the forest or something. Wat Patam Mua.
Yeah, they do Vipassana at those places as well.
Buddhist.
Yeah, yeah.
Can I have some?
What time is the tea supposed to be?
Well, it's usually on Mondays or on Sundays, I was doing it in between the class. But now that he wants to come up here instead of stay down there, because I was kind of doing something down there where I would talk about the weapon that we'd just been practicing, but last week we came up here and it really disrupts the class. So they didn't really know in the kitchen. So I had them start it when I came down. So they weren't aware that I was going to do 4:30.
Oh, okay.
So that's, I came down at 4:20, but obviously not enough time. Because usually it's at 5.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to see the button.
So it's extremely hot.
I thought you never see it.
And unnecessary. So I'll have to kind of plan. Maybe next week I'll do it at 5. I'm not sure. I'm kind of feeling it out because the energy just gets very dispersed when everyone comes up here, which is good in between classes, but kind of difficult in the middle of a class.
I'm not a monk, but I have a harmonium.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one of the day offs we can create something.
Just pointing out there.
A stupid question.
Huh?
A stupid question.
Stupid question.
Uh-huh. Can you ask stupid question?
What was it?
About this, like a word bin. So, what is the word for bin?
A bin.
So it's like a trash bin or any other bin?
Well, a trash bin's where you put trash, but a
Yeah.
bin is just where you
Bin
put
is-
anything.
So,
Oh.
it's
Bin
like
is just a container.
Ah.
Really?
Yeah, bin just means container.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's
Yeah, that's why it's called trash bin,
Wow.
because that's where you put the trash. It's a trash container, but bin really just means container.
so it can be like a bottle
So it's
bin,
a language school.
bottle bin.
Yeah, it's not used that often, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's bin can also be used as a container. Crate is a better word for those.
Great. Yeah.
But
Right?
bin,
Yeah. It's good to.
but not a dumb question. Language question. Yeah.
Language school, kung fu school, everything. Tea school.
Yeah.
I
Because
would
we
say
have.
maybe a dumb language.
Uh,
The English language is a little
we are
suspect.
international tea kung fu tea school.
And the last cup is taken.
Yeah.
Ah,
You can't even hold
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You can't even hold it.
Yeah.
Not for long, yes.
it's 4:43.
It's
4:43.
Get more cheese.
Okay.
She can handle anything.
Yeah, this is what I suspected. It's like we probably won't get back down there till almost 2 or 5. Yeah, which is fine. An hour on weapons is fine. It's just kind of a half-hour downtime, kind of brings the energy down.
Yeah, but
They're doing okay. They're keeping up.
it depends.
Yeah. First day, it might be kind of nice. Yeah. Any other questions or interests? No?
Between them.
Yeah.
You know your Sanskrit tattoos, do they make you feel like you're protected? Do you feel good about
So
having
it's
them?
about tattoo today.
I've got 3 of my own,
no reason.
and I can tell you from my experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I definitely
2 years
noticed they're there.
Yeah, I needed the protection.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
last 2, and it definitely helped me.
And you felt
Not
that.
being in danger.
Yeah.
Serious danger in the UK.
There you go.
It's just leaves.
Just
Is there another cup?
like dry,
Why?
Is there another cup? Because
dry leaves.
Matthias doesn't have a cup.
We don't have any tea.
We have
Yeah,
no
we
tea.
have a little bit.
Oh.
Tea.
Oh, awesome. We have enough. Plenty.
How is this cup? Is it?
Oh, but that was the cup for.
Oh yeah, probably.
Oh.
I'm
It
not
was-
sure.
it
Is
was
cheap
here.
to-
Oh, I thought that was yours.
Yeah, me
Ah,
too.
oh yeah, really?
Yeah, we'd had one already.
So, okay.
Yeah, a lot of these you can get something similar at the Chinese village. They have a lot. If you haven't been to the Chinese village yet, which I imagine most of you haven't, since a lot of you just arrived, it's not too far away. On a day off, it can be a nice place to go to. A lot of different teas there. Pretty much all the shops kind of sell the same thing, but you know, this is a tourist area. But it has a nice viewpoint on the top. I think actually when you went to dinner, did you go to dinner on
Not yet.
Saturday?
No, they.
Oh, you didn't? No dinner. Okay, so you'll do a dinner at the end of the month, and it's always usually up there. There's a nice lookout, so it's a little bit better as it gets later in the season because the sun stays out later, so you get to see the sunset, and you're on a viewpoint that
Hello.
overlooks the whole valley.
It says hello.
Yeah, so it's quite beautiful. Even at night, you get to
Press
see all
this
the
button
lights
to
kind
say
of come
hello,
up, and
and
you realize it's a lot more populated than you might think. Yeah. It's not like city populated, you know, we're still pretty rural, but there's a lot of hill tribes, a lot of little villages. Like we're in a village that's separate from Pai. We're in Nathong, I think. And then you go down a little bit more and there's another village. And this is why you'll see if you go for a ride on a bike, a bicycle, or a scooter, you'll see all these temples, and it's because every village has its own temple. And all the villages have kind of expanded to where they're connecting to each other, their own little suburbs, you know. But so you'll see pretty much countless temples.
wow.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just like a church in your own town, Christian church.
Yeah, right. Where every couple of blocks.
There's only one.
Take it home.
Yeah. And this tea is not caffeinated, by the way.
It's just-
Typically, the tea in the morning is.
Is this the same with drank?
No, Jogolong wasn't this morning.
It tastes kind of
yeah.
like Jogolong, doesn't it?
No. I mean, we had Jogolong this morning.
Yeah.
So it
kind of
it wasn't this morning.
Grass. It's like lemongrass, but
Lemongrass.
But it doesn't taste like lemongrass. It doesn't taste very lemongrassy.
Oh, it is lemongrass?
maybe
No.
it's like a sugar.
Oh, is it
I think it's
cane or
the-
something
Is that pandan or something?
Yeah, it's what Mustayan say all the time. It's like
Quiche,
a
quiche.
family of the lemongrass, but it's not one. And I
Okay.
guess they just boiled it for like 5 minutes because we were late. Oh,
Yeah.
early, sorry.
It's just a cousin to lemongrass.
Yeah.
Yeah. But usually, when it's something that's lemongrass or similar, you get a lot of the lemongrass flavor. Tastes like lemongrass or Fruit Loops, if you're familiar with Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops taste like lemongrass. That's where they get the flavors from.
No, it's lemongrass tastes like Fruit Loops.
Yeah, lemongrass tastes like Fruit Loops. That's right. The natural Fruit Loops. They grow in every grocery store. Yeah. So how is everyone doing on the first day? Those of you who are the first day. Those of you it's multiple days, how are you doing?
Surviving.
That's good. We want to get you to thriving, but we'll start with surviving. This is good. This is a good starting point.
Is it true that it's going
No,
to get
there is not.
hotter?
Yeah, you should look at it. You know what
Hotter,
happened?
hotter than this?
Yeah,
Yes.
most likely. Yeah. Slowly. I mean, this is the days won't get too hotter, but the mornings will get warmer. So that's kind of like a welcomed relief for some people. And then the nights will kind of stay a little bit warmer as well. But yeah, it won't be tied till March that it gets really, really hot. April is the hottest month of the year here because during the rainy season, it's actually quite nice here because it's because it's cloudy. So you still get this warmth, but you don't get the sun beating on you. So if you came for the sun, yeah, it can be very disappointing. But for those of us who stay here all year round, we're like, oh, nice. You know, yeah, it's a little bit of rain. You know, when it's constant rain, that can be kind of a downer. But when it's a little bit of rain, but overcast the whole day, it's actually nice for training.
When is rainy season here?
It starts in middle of May-ish in June, but it really kicks off and it's really heavy. So it'll start getting cloudy in May. June can be a little warm because there'll be some days that aren't so cloudy. By July it's cloudy, and then usually August, September, like mid-July to mid-September is kind of like the rainy season. Everything kind of moves a little bit, you know, a week or two here or there, but for the most part, the heavy rains. Which the storms can be pretty cool, lightning and sort of thing. But even in May and June, I mean, it's pretty nice. A little bit of rain. It's so dry. Come February, it's kind of dry. March is very dry, and then April is kind of the.
He was.
And then they
he
start
was when he
burning.
was younger.
The mountain.
He still has some.
Yeah, they set the forest floor on fire, burning the underbrush, but then also creating space for mushrooms to grow. Yeah, it's a point of contention between the locals and the government. The government doesn't really want it because it pollutes the air, and the locals are so used to doing it that they just do it because that's how they harvest their mushrooms. So there's this kind of balance and battle that's going on a little bit.
You guys get affected here?
Yeah. March, April can be pretty rough. March can be kind of intense as well, like mid-March can be kind of intense. I mean, you see the mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine it on fire.
Oh, shit.
It's kind of beautiful. Though.
Yeah, it's pretty epic looking. It's amazing.
It's a very interesting time where you feel everything is burning, but something which is burning is kind of like resurrecting itself. So it's kind of like a bit like the sun is coming up.
You see lines of fire. You don't see the whole thing on fire. You see lines traveling through. It's like a dragon, a snake going through the mountain and eating.
How does that work?
They started with like gasoline or something. I think yeah.
But not the because
I don't think they.
how they don't burn down the whole forest.
I think they do actually burn eventually the whole thing. Just the floor has this little layer of leaves, and the trees are really tall, so they don't catch. There is just the topsoil that just kind of.
Yeah, the trees that are left.
Wildfires around the world.
So it used to be, this all used to be teak forest,
Yeah.
and they've pretty much taken all the teak out.
Every single one.
And so what's left is everything that's fire resistant. So that's what you get. That's what's left in the jungle is all the things that are fire retardant. Like your rubber trees, obviously they don't really burn because they have this heavy sap that doesn't burn. And so that's, yeah, you're just left with a lot of trees that, it's unfortunate because it used to be this gorgeous teak. forest, and then they just kind of harvested all of it, and then they didn't replant it, and then what you get is things that are basically fire retardant.
You can clean everything. You know, this kind
Yeah,
of
it's
things.
kind of wild to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I haven't ever really been anywhere where it's like a controlled fire,
Mm.
but they're huge.
Yeah.
And then they're just like Thomas said. You see this line going through, yeah.
I really want to see this.
It's there's some beauty to it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's unfortunate it kind of pollutes the air, but
Yeah.
you know, the fires are pretty epic.
4:53.
All right.
4:53. Okay, let's finish up our really hot tea.
Back to training.
Get our hot insides going, keeping us warm, so we're ready to go. And go learn some Tantao. Tantao. Tantao means knife.
Single. Oh.
Single knife.
Small?
Yeah.
Meaningful, smallest.
Yeah. So you can think about this back in the day, because we're going to learn on wood sticks, but it looks like a sword. But this routine could have been done with any kind of knife. And if you were living in these kind of areas, or even in China, the likelihood that you were a farmer who had a machete is very, very high. So this would be kind of the basic. A lot of these weapons, you'll notice, they come from tools that were used on the land in the farm. You know, there's a shovel in there, the monk's spade. There's a tiger fork, which looks just like a pitchfork. You know, you have these kind of things that were just locally around. You know, they maybe have been dressed up now, but there's one routine, the double hammers or the double axe. Well, most likely anyone on a farm or anyone living on the land had an axe, had a hammer, right? So these are like really basic, like, yeah, it comes out of functionality, you know, and then now they're made into more weapons. They look a little dressier, but where they came from was really teaching the population how to defend themselves.
With anything available.
Yeah. Because there's a long history of Shaolin specifically teaching people and fighting against the empire, or the Manchurians specifically. That's who burnt down their temple, and long story. Something that Mesrine can maybe talk about in tea time and everything. It's a good question because it's fun. And you kind of learn the history, and you're like, oh wow, okay, this is more than just.
Press card.
Oh, we learned some
Can you
martial
help
arts.
me a little bit with this? I'm go to the toilet. And...
So the snowflakes. What's new, snowflakes?
Fine by me. Then I can say whatever I want. Oh, you can? So there's a mic on the phone or something? typically the hardest part of the day. We can get 3 to 4 rows. Probably with this many group, 4 rows. Okay, yeah. Feet together. And bow. That's the very Confucius aspect of the school. We like to have order, organization, everyone gets in lines. You notice some of us teachers are a little OCD, so we like everyone to be in a nice row, not just scattered around. But this is Sunday afternoon, we're going to work on weapons. This month's weapon is Tan Tao. I mentioned it briefly. It means single knife, right? But it looks like a sword, right? The modern day looks like a sword, but you can think that back in the day it could have been a machete, it could have been anything that someone was using as a knife. And you might be thinking, you know, why do I need to learn? Either one, wow, that's really cool, I'm excited, I can't wait to learn it. Or two, ooh, a weapon, I don't really plan on using a weapon on anyone, which is great. Ideally, you'll never have to use this weapon, but you can think about it as another way to learn to move energy or chi through your body, right? So I can swing a sword like this, but there's not going to be the same power as if I'm using my whole body. And if I'm learning to get the energy to come up, travel through, and come out again, right? I want the blade, I want my energy right there at the tip. Right, it's there. So it's just an extension of your body, and it's another way to move chi, move energy, which is everything Kung Fu is revolved around. It's all about connecting the mind, body, breath, and then moving the energy through the body, right? And we use things like fighting applications, weapons, routines to teach our body how to do this, right? But this is really, you can really get into higher level stuff. If you just want to do that one mic, I don't think it hooks up to that.
The mics are not working today. No, don't know why.
Okay, because I have that other one. I'll have to bring it down, so I should just give it to you. Right? Okay. There's quite a few of us. Make sure you have some space, right? The thing you want to think about, kind of basics, where your knuckles are, that's going to be where the blade is, right? You see where my knuckles are, you see where the blade is. So you kind of want to just think about that as being the blade, just so you have some awareness. You're going to learn it on a stick. There is quite a bit, I shouldn't say quite a bit, but there is a noticeable difference when you take on the actual blade, and that'll become clear when you do that. But in the beginning, just kind of think the blade's here, and you're just trying to remember the basic movements, right? And then we can refine after you learn the routine. Yeah? So the other thing to think about, just to implant it in your head, it's going to be a little tricky because you have a stick, but you want to think slice. And I'm going to demonstrate it on this bag over here, so you can see example. I'll come to you right. So we can be like, yeah, right? But that's not really a slice. That's a very blunt way to hit something. That's like if this was a stick and I would hit something here. If I was thinking as far as technique and I hit someone like this with a sharp blade, it would just stick into them. It wouldn't really be to my advantage to necessarily do that. So we want to think with mentality. I want to come through and slice, right? I'm having the slicing mentality instead of just, right, blunt object. Instead, I want to come through slicing it. I don't want to slice too much. These are pretty dull, but if I cut the bag, then. Right, so just to kind of have that idea, even when you're coming down with a slice, just thinking like you're trying to slice something. Slice it. So it's not just a, right? There's a little movement there that happens in the wrist, and just kind of think about that. So I'm just trying to plant that seed into your mind, right? No one's going to get on you if you're not perfect, right? This is day one. So we're expecting perfection by the end of the hour, not in the beginning. Yeah. So we're going to start in the middle of the routine because it's a nice sequence. We're going to start most of the Kung Fu weapons. You start, you move forward, you come back, then you go to the sides, and then you're going to do another forward back motion, and then usually some kind of finale move. That looks really cool. So we're going to start on the sides, because once you learn one side, you've now learned both sides. And it's a nice sequence, and there are some challenging moves in there, so there's things that you can practice on throughout the week, because we won't have another weapons class until, a full weapons class until next Sunday. Tomorrow afternoon, Master Ian typically does about 20 minutes to a half hour of weapons on the afternoon class at 5. So you go through the routines, some partner routines, and then weapon. So you'll have some time. Sometimes he'll teach more, sometimes he'll just go over what you learned. So try to practice throughout the week if you can. Monday, Friday mornings after tea, perfect time to practice because it's pre-practice and you have an instructor there if you have any questions. And they want you to ask questions because they're just sitting there twiddling their thumbs waiting for you to ask questions. Right? Tomorrow it'll be Priska. She loves helping people. So otherwise she's just standing there. You know, and you might see her practicing her routines a little bit just to do something. But to come on over, bother her. Was it this? Was it this? It'd be good. Right, so we're going to start like we just went from the front, we just went back, and now we're going to the side. So we're going to start in this posture where we have the sword, our right hand is on the Qing Ming. So again, that Qing Ming is that soft spot right above the hip bone, right on the side here. Don't bring it too far, bring it on the side. And then we're going to step in what's known as the cat stance. So that front left foot, you only have one left foot. Your left foot, which will be in front, will just be on the pad, right? You'll see some people doing this with the toe, but honestly, I think this is almost more unbalancing. So try to get the pad, but all your weight is on that back leg, right? So it's just there. If I needed, I could block, I could kick, right? Or I could step. So it's really a position of almost this, I'm trying to think of the words to use it, but you're calm and you're settled, but at any point you could explode. You're ready. Yeah, exactly. This is a very ready position because of the way the foot is, right? You can easily move, you could easily step back, you could, like I said, kick. So there's a lot of things you could step into something, so you have a lot of options there. So what we're going to do from this position, yeah, it's going to be easier. I'll come from the side, but you're moving this way. So just to kind of give you an idea. From here, everyone get into this position with me, right? We're going to step with that left foot. So we want to step into a bow and arrow stance. So again, that bow and arrow stance is back leg straight, front leg is bent, 60% of the weight is on the front leg, and you want to be ideally shoulder width apart. So what that usually means is stepping out, right? So if we just step forward and we get really narrow, step out, right, and get into that state, and then we're going to come up with a block. And that left hand is just behind it, so that in case it was to get hit, it wouldn't come back into us, right? So here we are, we come up with that block, and now here's a tricky movement. First we'll start with the stance. You're going to open that left foot, and then come up into a crane stance. Crane stance is the foot is protecting the knee, the leg is out at about a 45-degree angle. Right? This is the crane stance. If you have to put your foot on the knee, that's okay, but try to build up to the point where it's not on the knee. Right? If this is where you're like, oh, this helps me stabilize, that's okay. But in the routine, when you really have it down, you don't want it on there. Because This puts a lot of support on one leg, and if something were to happen to that leg, you have no support. Here, I can move, right? I have a little bit more mobility, where if I'm like this, my mobility is just on down a little bit.
So just under?
Well, ideally it's over, it's protecting. So your foot is protecting, and it's coming out at this 90 degree, or 45 degree. Right? So here we were, we stepped, we blocked, and now what you want to do is slice up and turn it around and have those knuckles facing up. And as you do that, you come up into the middle. It's a tough first move, right? So again, from here, step out, block, slice up, and then it's almost a little compact. You notice there's not a lot of space there. If you're doing this in the beginning, that's okay. But here, slice up and turn it around. Now the technique for that is as you slice up and you're turning it, pull that elbow in and turn that hand around, right? So what you want to avoid is this, because we want to think just in front, right? No one's expecting you to make it look like I do. I don't make it look necessarily fantastic, but I've been doing it a few thousand times. So no one's expecting that, but it's the slice up, but ideally try to keep that blade in front of you and almost view it like you're protecting your side by swinging it around. Yes, exactly. And as you do that, bring up that right foot into the crane stance. Right? So here we go. Just go through that one step. Here we are. Step with the left foot. Block. Slice up. Into position. Right? So once again here, we're blocking. Right? We're blocking. Slicing up. And coming up. Right? Now, if some of you, your knee is forward, you'll notice sometimes my knee gets forward. It should be out at a 45-degree angle. We're always working on perfection, so don't worry if it's not perfect. The key here being that we want the knuckles facing up. Yeah. Yeah, how's everyone with that? Everyone's looking pretty good? How are you doing over here? So don't put your hand, there's no need to put your hand on the other hand. You can just do this. Yeah. And then this hand just goes behind it. Yeah. And then from there, right here, we step, we come up, and now we're just going to step with that right foot, left leg, straighten it, and stab. When you stab, you don't need to make the arm fully straight. There's going to be a little bend in the elbow, and you get a little stab. Right? Yeah, yeah. Are we following so far? Kind of, sort of? Okay. Let's just work on those first couple of moves. I'll face you, I guess. There's not really a good angle for this, because if I'm facing this way, then the people here don't necessarily see so well. If we're here, we step with the left. Block. Slice up. Step, stab. Yeah?
And that hand's kind of always.
The hand's just going right behind the pommel there. Right behind the shaft. So that if you needed to, you could assist. Like if you did stab something and it got stuck, you could push it through. Right? So it's just supporting. The left hand pretty much throughout the whole routine is going to be supporting the other hand. So you'll notice this. Yeah.
What if someone is left-handed?
Yeah, this is a little tricky. Are you left-handed?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can try to learn it left-handed. I'm not left-handed. Some of the instructors from the past have been left-handed, and they learned it right-handed.
So it's
But they also learned it left-handed. So it's kind of up to you. Do you want to try to learn it with your offhand, or do you want to try to learn opposites? I will do my best to help you, but as teaching the whole class,
It's good to know, so I can focus now to do the same as everybody, and maybe during the free time I can try to practice a little bit with the left.
absolutely.
I guess it's like when you learn guitar, it's always for the right-handed.
Right, right. This is the, yeah, is there anyone else who's left-handed? No one else left-handed? You're left-handed as well? Vivian as well? Okay.
That's not a little.
So maybe you can help each other, support each other if you'd like. You know, if you want to learn it left-handed, I can help you, but I'm going to mostly teach it right-handed, just because we have such a big class. But I can go around to you individually and be like, okay, you want to do this, this, or this. It's just going to be the opposite. But the option is, do you want to try to learn it on your own, deciphering, or do you want to learn it right-handed, if that makes sense? Like, I will help you learn it left-handed, but most of the commands I give to the class are going to be from a right-handed perspective, and then I have to come over. Yeah, which I don't mind doing, just giving you options. I know it's maybe not ideal, but we'll get some time to practice and then we can work on it. Yeah, it can go either way. So, let's see how much you remember of those, just those little moves, right? So we start here, and where do we go from here? Nice. Yeah, stepping. Nice. Yeah, we want that up. Yeah, we want that up. Step. Yeah, everyone's looking pretty good. Okay, great. So, we're just going to go through that sequence again, and then I'm going to add one more move. And this is kind of how the progression is going to go, right? Just so we can keep remembering what we're doing. Here we are, we step out, lock, slice up into crane stance, step, stab. Yeah? Now the tricky part. So hopefully everyone's in this position. The right foot forward, or for your lefties, it would be the left foot forward, if you want to. Right? So, from here, you're going to bring that left leg behind the right leg and put those knees into each other. And then the hands come over. The left hand is kind of stopping the blade, so if you needed to use it as a defense, you could. We're not touching the blade here, but it is rubbing kind of that energetically around the edge, and then you're slicing down. And we're looking at the blade right here. Right? Yeah. Everyone's looking pretty good here. Yeah. Friska's also walking around, so if you have some questions and you feel a little shy and you don't want to ask me, you can ask her. She's walking around, kind of there to help. Right, so there you are. Now, bring that left leg behind. And slice. Kind of like a little dancer. Yeah, you turn. Yeah. So if this is my center, right, we're all moving in the same direction. We step, we block. We slice up, coming into the crane stance. Step with the right, stab. Now we're going to still be moving on this line. So that left comes, and I'm slicing forward, yes. Right, and if you can, try to get those knees into each other. This creates that support. It might feel pretty awkward in the beginning, so just do what you can. You know, over time, these things tend to get a little easier. So from here, we're going to do this where we step out with the left, and now we're going to bring that right foot up, really tuck that foot in, and bring the knee across the body, because we're going to defend it. And the easiest way to defend it is just to slice. Now the trick here is you'll see people will kind of do this. I'm going to face you for this because it's a little easier. right? So here I was. I step out, I lift up, I'm defending. Now when you're defending, you can do something like this, right? But it looks a little big, a little awkward. So instead, it's better to come through, and once it's through, turn your hand around and do the bicep. And now it's in a great position. Whether you want to bring it around, or in this case, we're going to have another strike. But we do this move a lot in the routine, so you want to get comfortable with this move. The main point of this move is to defend my right foot. Right? Now you notice I jumped out, which is a little bit more advanced, but ideally this is what we're going for. Kind of jumping out, knocking that away, step back with the right foot. And now look, I'm in a position to strike. Right? My blade isn't way over here. It's right here, nice and tight. All I gotta do is turn my waist, sink my energy up. Right here. You can probably feel that, right? Getting that movement of the whole body. Yeah? How are we doing with this? Okay, let's go. Let's start from the beginning. Let's see how people get this new move. So here we are. We step. We block. Slice up and around into the crane stance. Step. Stab. And that left leg back. Overhead slice. Coming out onto the left leg. Bend to the right. And now just step back. Right? Everyone's looking pretty good here. We want more of a bow and arrow stance if you can, right? So we want the back leg is straight. The front leg is bent. 60% on the front, 40% on the back. Ideally about shoulder width apart. And we want our feet facing 1 o'clock. Right? From here, after we did this, it's very simple. It's just a collarbone strike. So you're just thinking, hitting someone right here. And if you notice, it's a 45-degree angle. So we're not looking at straight up and down. We're not looking at coming across. We want to come in right in the middle. So if this is at 90-degree corner, right? Just right in the middle. That's that 45-degree angle. This would be like a right corner.
Worse than a collarbone strike.
Well, you're aiming for the collarbone, but yeah, it's a lethal strike, right? You're going for someone's neck, you're going for the arteries. If you were to slice someone here, there's a good chance they'd die. Right? Ideally, you never have to get into a sword fight, but if you do, it's because you're fighting for your life, in which case you want the lethal strikes. This is also why Kung Fu, if you're looking to fight in a ring, is not the best thing to learn. Because it's not a fighting sport. Like most of the moves we teach here are lethal. Right? Which is why our motto is we don't want to fight unless we have to. Right? If you're looking to like just go beat some people up in a ring, right on. But there's some other techniques that are more geared towards that. This is more of a lifestyle, more of a philosophy, right? Where we don't ever want to have to fight, but if we do, we're lethal. Yeah, which is why we don't want to fight. You know, you kick someone in the privates, that's pretty damaging. You hit them too hard, it can split. It's only 8 pounds of pressure is required in order to split hands. Yeah, 8 pounds of pressure is not a lot of pressure. But if you notice, there's a lot of groin kicks, there's a lot of groin strikes, collarbone strike, stabbing, right? It's called. We can also think about it just energetic. The likelihood you're ever going to get into a sword fight is very low. Hopefully never. Right? Okay. So let's start from the beginning. I have a tendency to talk too much. So I want to make sure you guys learn this. Stepping out. Block. Right? Slice up into the crane. Step. Stab. What comes next? Cross, that's what I already asked. Just a little mini test. And we slice, and now we're going to come out onto the left, correct? Yep, come on the left foot. Defend. Step back. Yeah, step back. Right? Everyone's in position. Right? Deliver the collarbone strike. Bring it around. And now we're going to step forward. And now we're going to teach you a new move. It's called the monkey squat. Some of you know the monkey squat, some of you do not.
We've done some at midday.
You did some monkey squats. So everybody knows monkey squats?
Well, you can show me.
Well, you can all do it with me.
Yes.
So, right leg in front. Right leg in front. And we just want to drop the knee. Right? But you want to drop the knee of the foot in front. Yeah. So the two of you need to change because you're dropping the knee that's in back. And it's the knee in front. So the front knee is what drops. Same thing. The front knee. Switch. The switch legs. Yeah. So the right foot is in front. This is the knee that comes down. Right? And yeah, for the beginning, if you're having difficulty with the hips, it's quite all right to just do this. Okay? This is okay. What you want to build up to is being able to drop down like this.
All the foot touching.
What's that?
All the foot touching.
Yeah, ideally. But this can be quite a bit in the beginning. So if you're struggling with this, don't try to give yourself pain. Right? Just you can start here, and then if you just practice it a little bit, even just doing it during the middays, you will get better. In the beginning, I couldn't do it at all. Now it's very easy for me. It doesn't take much. It's more or less just letting your body know that it's safe to do this, and then your body's like, oh yeah, I can do that, no problem. But in the beginning, it's like, what? You want my ankles to do what? And turn out, and the body just doesn't know it because most of you are probably not hanging out like that. You know, just like, oh yeah, let's hang out, buddy. It's not, you know, so it's, if you gotta do this, it's okay, right? So let's go back to the routine. And we're gonna do the movements again, going to that. I'm just gonna give a few cues. I want to try to help you guys create your own synapses, right? And if you're just following me, you don't really create the synapses needed in order to create the Here we go. Step. Wow. Crane stance. Stab. Cross. Coming out. Stepping back. Collarbone slice. Bring it around, step forward with the right foot. And now we're going to come down into that monkey squat. And then we're going to slice the Achilles. Now the blade only needs to really come to the second knee here, the back knee. We don't need to bring it all the way over because our opponent would ideally be in front of us. So it just needs to go here. And then from here, you can kind of keep the arm straight. You're just going to bring it back. Bring it overhead. Stab. Stab. Yeah. Right? And we have this hand here. So if we were stabbing, and let's say it caught on a belt buckle or armor, it would hit and slide. This would stop it from maybe coming back into your own leg. Right? So it's just kind of, that's the idea here. It doesn't have to be touching. Ideally, we don't ever touch the blade. I'm doing it as an example. But the oils on your skin will actually corrode the blade. Right? So it's there's really only one time through this whole routine where you actually touch the blade with the opposite hand. That's in the very beginning. You go to that part. Stab. Yeah. Okay, you guys are doing great. We'll see how much you remember this. But so far, you're doing great. So let's start again. In our position, right? We step, block, slice up, stab. Stab. Oh, I love that people are doing it before I talk. Even better, coming out onto the left. And pull it up. Yeah, just like that. Exactly. Collarbone strike. Bring it around, down into our monkey squat. Slice. Come back, overhead, stab. Yes. Did they do any shuffling this morning?
Yes, we've done just before with Thomas.
A lot of shuffling. Okay, so people know how to shuffle. We're shuffling. Oh, you're shuffling. I like it. I like it. Okay. We all be shuffling it. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We need that theme music. So we are going to do a shuffle, and the shuffle. After we come here, just a little reminder, to push off the front or the back foot, move the front foot, right? So I push, as soon as that front foot is down, that back foot is joining, right? So it's a way to close the gap quickly without losing contact with the ground, right? So we're avoiding, that would be really quick, but if you notice, both feet are off the ground at the same time, not so good. Right, not so stable. We're here. If you can just even try it. You can try jumping a little bit, and then just try coming. And just see if you can notice a difference. Like having the one foot down, doing it proper, and then actually like jumping up. And can you feel the difference in stability? Right? Yeah. So shuffling is a lot of the things we do here. Obviously, you did it in the previous class. The routines, as you get higher up, have shuffling in them. The weapon routine has several shuffling. So it's a thing, right? Shuffling is definitely something you want to kind of get comfortable with, get used to. It's not that difficult, but it's a great way to close the gap, as you probably learned in the previous class. You know, instead of running, you're still keeping your stance. So you still have that stance stability. Right? So with that in mind, after we stab, right, we're going to shuffle. And how we're going to shuffle, I'll shuffle towards you, right? Bring the sword back, slice up. Right? And this other hand is kind of the opposite. So you're getting almost a stretch with your two arms, and you can kind of use this left hand is almost a counter. In the beginning, you might be like, I have no idea what you're talking about, Kuda-san, I don't feel any counter. But over time, when you get used to this, you kind of feel this. And what it is, yeah, I should explain this because it might be helpful. There's three ways to get power, three main ways to get power in this particular school. There's other ways, but primarily there. Side to side, right? This is pretty obvious, right? And you did this again probably this morning, right? With the blocks, using the waist. So this is one way. Another way, I believe you all learned kind of some Qian, shoulders coming back, right? This is another way to get the power. It comes through shoulders back, spring. The other way, shoulders collapse and come up. Well, that is what's happening here. You don't have to do it right away. Just try to learn the move. But I always like dropping these little secrets or these little bits of knowledge so that they kind of grow. These little seeds grow inside of you, and then when the moment's right, the knowledge reveals itself. Ah, that's what he's talking about. Okay, now I get it. So, what I'm referring to is stabbing, just collapse. And so we're getting this springy slice up. Don't worry if you're not, if this is like, oh, that's too much. I feel like it's an aerobics class. That's okay. But I just want you to know this is one of the ways that we kind of get the power through. So when you're countering these two hands,
getting all this movement in the back and the shoulders as well. Keep that back foot down. So you're having a tendency to kind of do this.
Yep.
We want to, and this is true of all the postures, that back leg, the reason it's straight is this is how you get so much of the power. The energy is coming up through here, coming through my whole body. Yeah, exactly. Boom, and that leg, but keep that front leg bent. So then it's not because we want to avoid just doing this. This isn't really what we're looking for. It's more. So the energy is stabilized right here and then coming through the leg. Boom. Boom. Yeah. Right? Slicing. Not so much up and down. Right? And you can get the side turn in there as well. You can get a little bit of a turn. For me, I get more with the collapse in my shoulders, but you could also get a turn in there. Just a little bit of the waist. Right? Okay, so let's do that whole sequence. Yeah? Let's see how much you remember. I'm going to do it looking at you so that I can see how much you remember. Right? And this is going to be a little tricky. Right? So we start. Step out. Lock. Right? Then we slice up into crane. Step and stab. Come into the cross. Right? And now come out onto that left leg. Yep, defend the right leg, right? Stepping back. Collarbone slice. Going down into our monkey squat. Yeah. Coming back out. Nope. So, coming out of the monkey squat. You guys are doing great though, by the way. The fact that you remembered that much is awesome. Because it's hard. It's tricky. So from here, we're just going to bring the blade back the direction it came and then overhead and stab. And now from here, shuffle, slice. Okay? Let's do this a few more times. This is the bulk of that sequence. Then we're going to do something that looks something like this. Right? Yeah, and then you'll do the same sequence going the other way. So, I want to make sure you know this part. So let's go again. Right? Here we are. Left foot forward, we step out, we block. Come up. Snap. Stab. Slice. Right? Come out onto the left leg. Tap the right. Collarbone strike. And you can just let that keep going all the way through and use that momentum to step forward and drop down into the monkey squat. So do it with me. Yeah. And here. Collarbone. Bring it around. Step. Monkey squat. Here. Now we come up. Keep that straight. Yeah, you don't have to have your hand like that, it's more or less just watching. And then it stabs. And then we shuffle. And slice up. So slicing up is just like this. Yeah, exactly. There you go. Going. I see the big question mark come up over your head.
And I saw you saw that, and I got even more like.
Okay, so let's do that sequence again. Everyone's looking pretty good. It's You're gonna forget some things. It's okay. It's to be expected, right? It's the end of a long day, right? Don't worry about it. We're just gonna keep repeating it. We're just about there, and then you get to learn some more, and then the sequence is there, and then it's kind of a fun sequence. It's a complete sequence because you can go both ways, and then you can just keep doing it. Right? So, here we are. Right, left foot forward in our cat stance, stepping out, defending. Slice up, come into the crane. Step, stab. Right? The cross, bring that left behind. Slice overhead. Right? Come out onto the left, bend to the right, stepping back with that right foot. Make sure you're back with the right foot. Collarbone strike. I'm going to turn around because it's probably going to be a little easier. Collarbone strike, and you can just use that momentum to step forward, down, slice, overhead. And now we have that big shuffle. So try to get the hand the other way. Yeah, exactly. Everyone else is looking pretty good here. Slice. So when you go in for the shuffle, you can kind of shuffle towards the blade. You can almost stay there, shuffle towards the blade, and then slice up. Yeah, right? that's going to be brutal. Okay? Yeah, you just slice your own goals, demons, whatever, your neighbor you don't like. But you know, whatever it is in your mind that makes you feel at peace, better in your mind than in reality. So from there, this is, you're not going to get this part. I'm just going to let you know right now. You're not going to get it. It's going to look terrible. That's okay. Right? It's expected. It's difficult. Most people's wrists, there might be one of you who gets this right away. Most people's wrists are very tight. So what we're going to do is from here, we're going to do this kind of pigeon walking. So you're going to bring the toe back to the heel. Toe to the heel, toe to the heel, toe to the heel, toe to the heel, toe to the heel. Do that 7 times, and on the 8th one you take a big step back. Right? Just planting that in your head. What we're doing with the hands is we're making a figure 8. This is where it gets tricky. So from here, you're going to step back, and it's going to be a slice up. So first, let's just practice this without the stepping. Now, some of you are going to cheat and loosen up the grip. Ideally, you want to keep a firm grip. You're going forward. It's got to go the other way. You're going forward. This is what you do when you go forward. You got to come up. So it's up. Yeah, opposite. No, you're doing the same thing. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going up with the knuckles, right? So from here, we're slicing up with the knuckles, up with the knuckles, up with the knuckles. If you notice, this is kind of a figure 8 form. In the beginning, it's okay to be using all your arm. But as you get more experience, you want to keep that elbow somewhat tucked in, right? And that left hand is just following the right wrist. It can be far away. It can be like this. When you get used to it, you actually notice that you're pulling with the left hand. And there's an energetic thing happening here. But in the beginning, just try to get the movement, right? Because it's hard. And most people's wrists aren't made for it. So we just have to condition them and train them, right? And so it's, again, up. So let's go from this position. Actually, let's do the whole thing. We're going to get into position. Let's go here. Right? Starting position, everybody. Right? Step. Defend. Slice into crane. Stab. Cross. Come out onto the left. Defend the right. Roll your wrist. Right? As you come through, roll that wrist, and then just bring the arm up. right? Now, collarbone strike, comes around, stepping forward, slice, overhead, stab, shuffle, slice. Now we're going to bring that right foot back to that toe back to the heel, right? Slice up. Now bring that left foot, slice up, right foot back, slice, left foot back, slice. 5, 6, 7. The 8th one, take a big step back, like it's a bow and arrow, and another slice up, like you just did. Yeah? Do that sequence again, right? Because it's a tough one. So, we can come from this position, and again, step back with the right foot, slice up. Left foot, slice up. Right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if you're someone like me who has difficulty counting up to 8, I count 4. You don't have to do it this way, it's just another option. So, I'll show you that. Let's do it again from this position. Step back with the right foot. So this would be 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one you step back. So I just count the left leg. It's just another option. If that confuses you, ignore it. Right? But it's just a way to be. For me, it's easier to just count to one side. Everyone's brains work a little bit differently. So if you find that's easier, just do a 4 count. If you like all of them, 1, right? 5, 6, 7, 8. If that's easier, stick with 8. Right? Either option works. It's the exact same thing. It's just internally it looks a little different. Yeah? How's everyone feeling with that sequence so far? Good? Yes. Okay, so let's see it. You said it was good. Right? So here we are. Try to get the a little bit better. So you're going to want to hold up a little bit on the stick. Try not to have the very end of the stick, because the reality is you wouldn't hold the sword like this. Right? You'd hold it here. So there's a little bit of here, and it actually creates a difference in how the stick feels. The way the weight is balanced, if you're here, it's much different than here. I know it's only about that much, but it does make a difference. Right? Here we are. Step. Left. Bring it around, slice, jump onto that left, then the right, collarbone strike, and remember to step forward with the right foot, stab, and shuffle, slice, I'm not going to slice, right, and now we're going to step back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now there's just one more move. All right? Now, like I told you, we do a lot where we're picking up the legs and defending them. Like this move, right? This move, we do this a lot. That's why it's nice if you can kind of get used to rolling that wrist. Just make sure you get it past. Once it's here, roll it, and then it's just a bicep. Right? Otherwise, it's a little tricky. If you keep that straight, you notice it's a little difficult to get it around. Here, the efficiency is just so much better. Right? But from this position, we're going to end up doing a 180-degree turn. So I'll show it to you first. You're going to pick up that left leg, slice, turn. Pick up the right leg, slice, come back into our handstands. So I'm going to do it from this side so that you can see what I do in the front. So we're here. when we lift up that left leg, bring the knee across so that you don't cut yourself. Use the momentum of the slice to turn. When you pick up the right, slice. If you can, bring it around your head into this position that we started at. Right? This position looks familiar. If you notice that you're doing this, it's completely acceptable, especially in the beginning. Very few people can keep it tight. Right? In the beginning, the sword's loose, but what shows sword mastery, the closer you can keep it to the body, the tighter it is to your body, the more defense you have, kind of the more skill you have, right? So it's something to work towards, right? In the beginning, you know, you might be doing stuff like this. It's okay. You know, everything might be really open and kind of loose. It's to be expected. We can refine later. So don't worry about perfection. Just try to remember the moves. So again, from here, right? From here, lift up that left leg. Defend it. Turn all the way around. Now lift up that right leg. Defend it. Step back with the right leg. Bring the sword over the left shoulder. And now bring that left foot back into a cat stance as your right hand comes down to the chin. Right? So everyone turn towards me again. Start the initial of that, and I'm going to be on this other side so that you can kind of see what it might look like. Because otherwise you won't see. So here we are. We just did our big slice up. Right? We want the right foot in front. Ideally, we're in a bow and arrow stance. So let's everyone get into a bow and arrow stance. You want your feet shoulder width apart. The right foot is about a half of your foot in front of the left foot. Both feet are facing 11 o'clock. Right? Hips are facing forward. And now we're going to lift up that left leg. Defend it. Right? Bring that sword across. Use that momentum to turn you. Right? That sword should be somewhat on the other side. Now lift up your right leg. Defend, step back, bring it over, and as you bring the sword over the shoulder, you go into a cat stance. And then can anyone guess what the next move is? Step and block, exactly, Lee. Same sequence. Give you the exact same sequence. Right? So here we are, block, step, into our crane. Step, stab. Come back around. Slice. Jump onto the left foot. Protect the right. Step back. Collarbone strike. Bring it around. Step forward with the right foot. Drop down into a monkey squat. Over, step up, overhead strike. Now shuffle. Slice. And now we're going to take a step back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Big step back on the 8. Lift up the left. Defend. Turn 180 degrees. The left foot should be in front. Right foot. Defend. Bring that overhead. Go into a cat stance. Right, that starting position. Defend. Doesn't matter. Defend. Step back. Over that other shoulder. Into this position. Bring that foot back. All your weight should be in the right foot here. All the weight should be in the foot that's in the back. The front foot is, again, just on the pad of the feet. And now you can do that sequence again. So now just keep doing the sequence. This is what we're going to do for the last 10 minutes, and I'm going to come around. If you have questions, you can ask me, you can ask Krista. We're just going to come around and try to help you the best you can, the best we can. You do the best you can. Yeah? But this sequence is endless. You can just keep going. right? If you notice, you just keep going. No, no, no.
Oh, yeah, back and forth, back and forth.
Exactly, back forth. Yeah, listen to Kyle. Kyle's got it.
I got it.
Yeah,
You guys are worried about.
do what Kyle does. Okay? So let's go, everybody. Come on. Here we are. Right, in our cat stance. Looking out. Right, stabbing. Really good. Yeah. Before you do that, because you're actually getting, you want to know the secret? Secret. You're actually getting a little turn in the waist. So that you can see how the waist is.
You remember?
So from there, we got this one first.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just a step.
Yeah.
Down. Release. Keep that arm kind of straight. And it comes over. Now we're going to shuffle, pushing off the back leg, moving the front leg first. Yep. Slice up. So don't do this. Just slice up like this. Right? And now we're going to step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to come up, cross, and then come up. So you're making a figure eight. Coming up, and around. So it's like this. So back with the right, back with that right foot. No, just to the heel. Yep. Slice up. It's not really behind, it's more following, right? So you slice up, but across the body, right? And now you're going to slice up this way. But you want that slicing happening in the middle, right? And then now your feet are moving. Slice here. One slice back. Lift up that knee. So when you lift up that knee, bring it in, slice. You want to really slice with this. So slice now. Slice now when the knee's up. On the other side. So before you So, my knee's up. Watch my sword though. It's coming here. Turning around. You're kind of doing this. You want the sword to lead the way. Here, here. Yeah, now let that turn you around. The sword is the first one. So it's and that momentum. Now defend this. Now, this. Defend it first.
Yeah.
Defend it first. Right? Now step back.
We changed.
Yeah, pressure's
So
on,
now
pressure's
I'm
on.
confused.
Instructor's watching.
Yes.
Come on to the left. Back to the out. Don't bring it around. Follow those tracks. Oh, so you probably did the shuffle. From there, yeah, from here, left leg jumps out, defends, and straight. Yeah, then you bring it around, step forward. Okay, monkey squat. Right, overhead. Oh. And now you just turn. And complete the sequence. Yeah. It's just. What? Yes. Oh, the last turn. Turn that right foot back. And then come into your second leg.
And you go, and then,
Okay, everybody. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today. I'll go ahead and put the sticks away. Well, I just wanted to show that one sequence. So I'll give you just a quick view of the sequence. Here. Right, and then you would come back to center. But ideally, what you want to put aside. Okay, yeah, let's get into some rows. Yeah, that's just the side part, but it's a big chunk. Say it's about 25%. Okay, about maybe 30. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy dinner. It's all vegetarian today. Yeah. First day done. Should I thank the live stream?
We usually show what's going on in the kitchen.
Ah, okay.
So probably when go and take a look at our dinner.
No. No. There's no shower time. If you shower, well, if you shower and come to dinner, you might miss dinner. And just a little fair warning. Dinner's at 6, and most of us eat and then shower.
Trying to ask what tea is that. Try tea?
So, is there any?
It depends. Some places you might just get choked, in other you might just get punched. Some you might have a wrist lock or an elbow lock, and some you might be fine.
So I guess I might see here.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I mean, I met you at dinner, but I didn't get the names, so I just wanted to
Just one place.
There's a lot of new faces, so I just wanted to get all the names.
Yes, yes, of course.
And now there are two.
Now there are 2.
Do you know, do you guys speak Thai? I want to ask the lady what type of tea is that?
Oh, it's this wood.
Yeah, but what type of tea? Dimitri, maybe, you know? What tea is drinking Master?
Mastilla knows. Only Mastilla knows.
Yeah, but you are in the Master tea.
But it's not tea, it's a piece of wood, actually. So,
Oh, yeah, that's the wood.
technically.
Yeah, the wood.
So what do we have here at the dinner? Oh, it's like a... What's that? Coconut curry?
No. What?
That's
Happy about
Ja-
trees?
no, it's the flour.
Banana flour
the
curry.
banana flour.
Sardine?
And with some sort of pumpkin.
Pumpkin and
Oh,
that's not
papaya.
That's papaya.
Malako.
Oh,
And rice.
Yeah.
Some rice. Yeah, alright guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Tomorrow 11 Bangkok time. Bye bye.